far we've talked about bar graphs, we've talked about frequency tables, and now we're going to talk about dot plots. So dot plots are, we're going to use the same data we've been using all week, but dot plots are literally that. You are going to plot dots on a graph. Typically, what you'll have is you'll have a line where you'll start, and that's your base. And then you'll have your different categories down here. So we had the same categories. So we had Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. So we had 10 of you like Pikachu, nobody liked Charmander, or nobody liked Bulbasaur, 5 of you liked Charmander, and 4 of you liked Squirtle. So normally you would write the whole name on the bottom, but I want you to be able to see it. So I am just going to put the first letter in the color, the corresponding color of the Pokemon. So we got P for Pikachu, B for Bulbasaur, S for Squirtle, sorry, went out of order, and C for Charmander. So down here, we have the different types of Pokemon. So we're going to be doing the same title, types of Pokemon, okay? So here, the scale is a little different. So if you remember on our bar graph, we had a scale here, and our scale counted by 2s. Okay, your scale could count by 1, it could count by 3, it could count by 1,000, it can count by 1,000,000. It just depends on what your data is. It wouldn't make sense for us to count by 1,000,000 because we don't have 1,000,000 students in our class. We have to have a scale that makes sense. So in ours, we need to decide how much does one dot represent. So we have data here, and the biggest number is 10. Well, 10 dots would be pretty high, so I don't want to do that many dots, so I'm going to count by 2s. And I'm going to represent, and I'm going to put the key, let's put it over here to the left. I'm going to put dot equals 2 students. Kind of went a little rogue because I need space. But just like here, I had the title for the bottom. Now I need the title for the whole thing. What are we talking about? Favorite Pokemon. So this whole thing is talking about favorite Pokemon. All right, so if we start with P, so I'm going to do all my dots in gray. If we start with Pikachu, 10 students liked Pikachu. So 1 dot is 2 students. Then 2 dots is 4. 3 dots is 6. 8, 10. So I stop because that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 5 dots. But this means 10 students because each dot is 2 students. Bulbasaur doesn't have any, poor guy, so he's going to be blank. Charmander's going to be tricky because it's 5. So if I count by 2s, 2, 4, well, if I add another dot, that's 6. So that means I have to add half of a dot, which would give me 5. For S, I have 4, so 2, 4. For Squirtle, I just have 4. So that's what you have to think about, especially when you have a scaled number, because you had an odd number here and we're counting by 2s and 2 is even. You had to do a half. You need to remember this strategy because we will be using this strategy tomorrow when we do pictographs, when you use pictures, because your picture isn't going to always work out. So you need to remember that whenever we're talking about scales and different numbers. So remember, whenever we're working in class, I always tell you, if you see a graph, you need to number it. Just like here, I would have wanted you to do 2, 4, 6, 8, and then wrote 10 at the top. So 10 Pikachu, 0 Bulbasaur, 2, 4, 5. Then 2, 4. So that way, once they start asking you questions, because if a question is, how many students chose Charmander? You already know the answer because it's right there. Putting your scale and drawing your own graph is one thing, but when you have a graph, you got to make sure that you're numbering it.